Do y'all remember when Kamala Harris had not one, but two whole twerk offs at her rallies that y'all paid for? Now, maybe not you, but the person next to you, right? The one who voted for this foolishness. Do y'all remember when she brought up Meg the Stallion the first time, right? Up there twerking it away at a political rally. And then she brought up, that's right, Glorilla. Now, we saw Lizzo get up there, and I know we all thank God in heaven that she was not going to be the third up there throwing it back, because none of us wanted to see that. But do y'all remember that? Remember when Kamala showed you who she thought you were? As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to just put it on her. I'm going to put this on the entire Democratic Party of what the Democratic Party has become within the last decade, maybe 60 to 70 years, right? I say since Lyndon Baines Johnson. This is how the Democratic Party sees you. They see you as the lowest, the most degenerate. They see you as the very worst version of what is presented about you. Kamala, who was cosplaying a black woman, only knew these things about quote unquote black culture. She knew that black people love rap music, they love to twerk, and they love to smoke on backwoods and blunts. That's what Kamala knew about you. She didn't know about doctors, lawyers. She didn't know about engineers. She didn't know about entrepreneurs, even though she said she was going to fund your businesses. We all know what she meant by that. We all know she was just talking about barbershops getting funded. Let's be real. We all knew she was talking about dispensaries getting open. Let's be real. She wasn't thinking about your tech startup. She wasn't thinking about your media company. They have been playing in our face forever. And this is coming from a dude. Before 2016, I was a lefty, not just a Democrat. I was a lefty. I was blackity black, y'all, because I'm black, y'all, and I'm black. That was me. I fully subscribed to the Democratic plantation and all it had to offer. I believe that to be black was to be Democrat, without question, full and unchecked and unprocessed devotion and loyalty to the Democratic Party. I believe that in order for me to be accepted within my quote unquote community, I had to subscribe to all that the Democrats were. And it's the deepest irony. My pops is reading a book where, there's a Democratic statistician, I believe that's how you say it, statistician, who was going through the statistics of, why black people vote Democrat. And he thought he was going to find some great evidence in there as to why this is the best party for black folks. But in his research, he realized that most black Americans have the most conservative values. Let me run that back. Black Americans are the most conservative people out of every demographic in every single subject line that they use to I guess, measure value systems. And yet, disproportionately, black folk have voted Democrat more than anybody else. Even in this election, where there's been the largest shift in votership, both left or right, there's been the largest shift in every demographic. The one that stayed deviously, diabolically loyal to the Democratic Party has been black folks. The very same folks who have seen time and time again how this party disrespects you, does not see you as beyond and above them. They don't see you as anything. They see you as that same person who is on that plantation. They will build you up and make you feel like, you're on this, pedestal. They will pander to you and have you believe that they see you as black excellence and greatness. But when it comes to the actions, that's what they show you. When they're taking your donor money, your little $5, your little $20, grandma's little $20 donation that she sent 10 times over the reoccurring donation throughout the entire campaign, they took that money, they put that money in a Meg the Stallion's pocket so Meg could come up there and look like a damn fool twerking at a political rally. That's how they see you. And you might think I'm being too extreme. Oh, he's just, I've been called a coon 100 times this week. I don't give a damn. If I'm a coon for calling out the dysfunction in our community and actually trying to be a solution and call out those who can be solutions as opposed to continue to add to the problem, then I'll be a coon until the day that I leave this planet, and I'll come back and be a coon all over again if that's what it takes. But somebody's got to say it, and somebody's got to say it straight up. You are being played with. You are being lied to. And there's something that a dude named Angry Man, dope content creator, there's something that he said in one of his live streams that I watched. And he said that black folk think that Democrats are for them because they pander to them. So the Republicans won't pander to you, because they're actually focused on, let's say, policy, right? And I'm not saying either party is perfect, but it's become more than just about parties. Now it's identity politics, it's about affiliations on the left. The left has gone so far that they've left behind many of the people who are traditional Democrats. I've now had thousands of, or at least hundreds of the thousands of comments that I've gotten on my TikTok where people are, sharing their stories of being Democrats, lifelong Democrats, never voted Democrat before in 50 years, 40, 30 years, and all of a sudden they're making the switch. Because this is the only party that's now representing what they believe in. The left has gone so far left, it's deviated so far from what it is. And we're so fixated on race, we've been programmed and conditioned to be loyalists to the most superficial aspects of ourselves. And then we wonder why, when we get these Brandon Johnsons to the Brandon Scotts into office, they don't do a damn thing. They don't get the job done. They do the opposite. They literally make the communities worse. And then we want to blame it on the white man when the person we're looking at, every single time we put our vote into the ballot, we're putting that person in because they look like us or they have the same complexion. They look like my cousin Ray Ray. They look like my auntie Shaniqua. Just because this person resembles what you think is home to you, you put them in office not understanding they're an agent of chaos. They're not going to do anything for you. They're playing in your face. They're taking the money and running with it. What happened to Black Lives Matter? Does anybody remember BLM? Y'all still got the little pins on you? Huh? What happened to the black squares? What happened? What happened to one of the largest and biggest movements? What happened? Barack, what happened? Remember? Well, they never loved us. Do y'all remember that? When they took millions of dollars and funneled it into their own lifestyles, do y'all forget about that? Or is that just me? Was I delusional? Was I dreaming about that? Did that never happen? But yet you continue to lace these people's pockets. You continue to buy into the identity politics and wonder why it is that you continue to get the very same outcomes. Look, Brother Einstein once said, and yes, he's Brother Einstein, since y'all be loving to give that label to whoever you see fit, and then kicking out the folks that don't agree with you. So Brother Einstein once said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Y'all have been voting Democrat for the last 60 years, devoted since LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, said we're going to have these Negroes voting Democrat for the next 60 years. Y'all were on code. Y'all have been damn near perfect. Now, this year, there was a little bit of a switch up as far as black men goes. And a lot of that was the Zennial black men. They said made the biggest difference. I know there's, black folks all over the map, but still 80% devotion to foolishness, 80% devotion to twerk offs on stage, 80% devotion to Diddy's list, because that's what that was. It wasn't Schindler's List. That was Diddy's list up there. We saw that all campaign, the entire campaign. They were running Diddy's entire list. We saw from J-Lo to Usher to this one to that. And y'all still... What is in the water? Like, how can you be so far gone that you see facts in your face? And people love to talk about, but he's a rapist, he's a this, he got these charges. Do y'all not, black folk, do y'all not understand the same game that y'all were crying about being blamed on back in the day? Remember when they used to just put a case on you? Just put a case on you. You end up in prison for something that you didn't do. Y'all forget about that? How if they see you as an enemy, an adversary, they would just lock you up, just like Kamala did, putting cases on black men and just, I'm sorry. That's Queen, right? That's Queen. She wasn't Queen when she was locking black folk up for false positives, right? Truancies when the kids want to go to school, and so they're finding ways to put the parents in jail, just making more broken homes. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was different. It's different, right? Because the mass media machine told us that this is our person. We forget that in 2020, it was a perfect year, 2020. Remember 2020? When Kamala ran for president all by her lonesome and was the first Democrat to step out of that race. because she was the least popular candidate. Then all of a sudden, 2024 rolls around, and in a blink of an eye, old Joe Carcass Biden is gone. In comes Kamala, and then they put $1 billion, $1.3 billion, $1.5 billion to convince you that she's the one, and you say what? She's my one. You didn't even know what this woman barely looked like before 2024. She was silent. One of my followers, they said, and I got to look this up, but allegedly that it was said in the media, in the left-wing media, that she was the worst vice president, one of the worst vice presidents in history, before they needed her to fulfill their agenda. Come on, folks. Black folks, we're the most superstitious folks. We're the most suspicious folks. We're the most all that until it comes to the allegiance to the Democratic Party. It is crazy. It is actually insane. Like, again, I was in that Democratic plantation like nobody else. Don't get me twisted. Back in 2015 and before that, come on. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black as I'm black, y'all. But there came a time where I said, man, I got to do my own research. Like, there's something, the math ain't math in here. Something is off here. The calculus ain't calculating right now. And I finally got to a point where I realized, oh, I'm being played with. Oh, these are lies that they're selling me. Oh, the ones they told me were racist are actually the ones who are more accepting. And now it's been more prevalent than ever before. Now, you might not see it if you're on the left because you're the one who's probably cussing people up and down and cutting your family members off. But I've gotten thousands and thousands of messages on TikTok specifically where people are sharing their stories of exactly how it went down in their own households. This is crazy, y'all. If y'all can't see it, you don't want to see it. I think that's all it is. If you cannot see it, my friend, if you can't see it, you don't want to see it. As simple as that. As simple as that.
I used to be afraid of the dark, a place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking.